Welcome to today's version of Overboard Birding. The Because just beyond boredom is brilliance, and this is the site for overly bored birders. um, Today's lesson is going to be 2 out of 77, and that is responding to light. There's a childhood song, "They're First to See the Sun." It's kind of about birds, but birds really do. I mean, if you go out early in the morning, say that you're leaving to go out of town and it's summer, you go out in your yard and you're wanting to make 1,000 miles in your car, so you leave real early. What happens when you turn your lights on to take a shower at 4:30 in the morning? Well, if you're in North America, almost everywhere, you're going to hear robins. They start to sing. They make that noise that a robin makes, and that the reason they're making that is because their babies underneath them are wiggling, like this, and the mom feels all that, and she needs food for these babies, so she's anxious for the daylight to come and illuminate the food that she needs. Most birds can't see very well without light. There is the exception, the owls. There are some night prairie birds, definitely some of the peacock family. There's quite a few waterfowl that can see at night quite well too. But on the whole, I'd guess maybe roughly off my mind, maybe 80 to 90% of birds cannot see at night. And so that's when you hear a robin, that's what's going on. They're responding. So if our top behaviors are all about prospecting, what does that mean? It means if the lights are on, they're prospecting for what? For food, for the babies. And so their response to light is to take advantage of first food, first worm, first bug, first anything that they can see. And so that's today's lesson about the advantage of first light. What they do with these racing pigeons, they're not even meant to breed. But here in Utah, the people who fly these, they start putting them together in artificial light in November and December, so that they can have babies that are as old as possible for when the races come. You can only use birds that are up to a year old. So they put a ring on their leg that shows the year that they were born. It's to your advantage to have a bird that's born in January as opposed to one born in December, because you're going to have a tiny bird that can barely make it home. So you get a lot of extra training if you have them born early. So racing pigeon fanciers all over the world, they use that sun. They use artificial light to stimulate hormonal growth, so that the birds have babies and start laying eggs early in the year. And so that's how they use the sun. But they're very first to see the sun. And so wherever you go, I mean, I've been on several continents of this earth, and every time that I'm on a different continent, I always feel at home and welcome, because wherever the sunlight starts to rise, there's birds, grackles, kookaburra, there's starlings, there's all kinds of waterfowl. Whatever there is, there's chickens. Go on a vacation to Hawaii, blow you away. You'll see domesticated chickens that have got loose and are now kind of feral chickens, but they cluck just as the sun comes up. So it's fun to hear that. And I think our maker put them down here exactly for that. They're kind of a built-in alarm clock. That's fun to listen to. In a canary cage, if we talk about light, I had a friend that raised 300 canaries, and he needed to segregate the males from the females. The males sing at first light and at the end of day. So he'd have a pitch black basement where he was breeding all these, and he'd go down with a squirt bottle, and the minute the light had come on, he'd just see which ones were singing, and blast them away with a fine stream of water until they were so wet they couldn't fly from perch to perch and they fall to the ground. And he'd keep doing that until he had 20 or 30 males identified because he had been singing. And then he just would go in the cages and grab those birds off the floor, put them in a separate cage. Now he knew which ones were the males. And it was a neat way of segregating. You know, it took him only a few days to go through 300 birds. So, yeah, birds respond to light. And the main reason, again, is prospecting. It increases their nutrition rate and their chances of survival. So, prospecting, lesson number 2, response to light. Thanks for joining us for today's Overly Bored Birding. Have a great day. God bless. Bye.